Ricky got the quarters for the table and broke, while I pulled hard on the sorrow and smoke. Raising up my bottle, I looked for a chance as he set your glass down on the bar with a glance at me. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, shuffleboard out neon light. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, cigarettes and whiskey tonight. Ricky said she's out of your league, let her go, as I watched you pick your partner on that old dance floor. I know it didn't work out the first time we tried, but I'd do anything to have you by my side again. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, peel the label off a Miller Lite. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, I sit here thinking about you every night. You the one who faltered? Was I the one who strayed? Maybe God left us out of the plans he made. So here's to misbeginnings and things that never start, for these are the ghosts that run around in my heart. When I see that where I'm going isn't where I want to be, I get the urge to look you up, see if you would come and meet me. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, hey buddy, have you got a light? Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, just one more and I'll be alright. Everybody sing. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, peel the label off a Miller Lite. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, I sit here thinking about you every night. Ricky got the quarters for the table and broke, while I pulled hard on the sorrow and smoke. Well, Sherry had a pawn shop bound of gold, a sink full of dishes and a love grow cold. Along came a boy, pretty as the devil. She took his hand, the whole thing unraveled. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Billy took the ring, jammed it in his pocket, drove downtown and tried to hawk it. Down at the bottom of Lake Pontchartrain, there's a couple carved inside a wedding ring. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn in parade, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Ain't no telling where love goes, maybe down where the Black River flows. Won't be coming back round, it's broke down. Baby in the backseat and another on the way. Sherry thinks of Billy at the end of every day. Spends her nights waiting for real life to start, listening to the sound of her double-crossed heart. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. There's no turning round, it's broke down. On the other side of town, two lovers lie still, cigarette smoking on a windowsill. There's a picture locked up in an old suitcase. Billy closes his eyes, but he still sees her face. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn and frayed, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. It's broke down. Man, it's hard to believe that was 26 years ago that song came out and rocketed my career from total obscurity to relative obscurity, which is just the right place. No paparazzi or anything like that to worry about, but we still get our bills paid. We're pretty lucky. This is Scrappy Judd Newcomb on guitar, folks. Man, so much crazy stuff has happened since this record came out 26 years ago. Nothing we could have predicted, right? I'm just glad we still have music to bring us together after all those years. Dark clouds gather on the western range. This time it feels like more than just another cold, hard rain. Rivers rising over old floodlines. Here come the prophets calling out the end of times. When the night comes creeping in and the day has left a mark, take you by the hand, together through the dark. We touch our bruises and we nurse our scars. We look up into the night, seeing chaos in the stars. Through endless time, the same old dance. We stray out into the dark in search of one last chance. When the night comes creeping in and the day has left a mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. I'll tend the fire through the night and through the down. Can't fight the storm outside, but we can wait it out. This world is hard from the day you're born. You can't pick up the rose without a handful of thorns, holding on to the slimmest hope. You can beg for mercy or you can pray for a little more hope. When the doubt comes creeping in and life has left its mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. When the night comes creeping in and the day has left a mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. Together through the dark. Together through the dark. so much, everybody. When we came through Tomball 3 years ago, that was on our brand new album. Yeah. And that's still our brand new album. That's still our latest album. Let's do another one from the new record. We've still got plenty of CDs and vinyl on that one. We're out of t-shirts, though. We did sell out of t-shirts.
Onesies.
We're all out of onesies, too. I think we have baby onesies is all we have.
No adult onesies?
No adult onesies.
Those things sell out so quick.
You know what also sold out? I won't break your hearts, but the beef chili scented Terlingua Chili Queen candle set was sold out now, too. No more beef scented candles, sorry. Maybe by the holidays we'll have some more. Sandy worked in Dallas in an office in the sky, chatting up the oil men, her hair piled up high. Bought designer clothes at the Galleria Mall, dancing in deep Ilium, she was fairest of them all. The husbands in the houses, they'd come and then they'd go, and when the dust would settle, she'd be right back on her road. If you wanna get ahead, you got to do the shuck and jive. So every day it's out of bed and on the 35, putting on mascara in the rearview mirror. In the backseat of her mind, there's a little flash of fear. Is this the life she wanted when she was a little girl, or is there something more out in the great big world? She started thinking crazy, she started feeling wild. She wondered what would happen if she drove 600 miles. She planned her getaway, she had the motive and the means. That's how I beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. After 22 many years chasing wedding rings, she traded in her Lexus, sold off all her things. Goodbye to fancy dinners, goodbye to therapy. She headed west on 20 with a chili recipe. On the dash, a pack of Salem's and a half a pint of gin, not caring if she'd ever see the Metroplex again. No, she drove out through the night toward that little border town. It's time for starting over, no time for backing down. Sunrise interlingual on that truck stop cafe. That's how I beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. Found a place when I go free with a kitchen out the back. Bought some pots and pans and she started to relax, stirring and a tasting out in the open air. Sunshine on her skin, desert breezes in her hair. She won the chili cook-off, went off to celebrate, dancing in La Kiva like she's about to levitate. She kissed a river out, they started singing, drinking songs. Said, I'm here for a good time, I'm not here for long. Now they're headed for the desert in search of mescaline. She planned her getaway, she had the motive and the means. Sunrise interlingual on that truck stop caffeine, dancing at the starlight like she was 17. That's how I beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. I used to do that song towards the end of the night because it's got a good rocking song, good rocking pace, but I'm out of breath by the end of the night. I can't hit all those notes, so got to do that one while I'm fresh. So how many people are on our email list? Oh, that's a good amount. All right, nice. Yeah, so you all know that, a couple weeks before the shows start, I send out an email saying we're coming to town and send out a request for requests. No, you have to respond to the email when I sent it out 3 weeks ago. And then that way I can brush up on the song if I haven't played it in a while, and if I can't remember the lyrics, I'll call it up on YouTube and sing along with it for a couple times. It's getting to that point, folks. But Brian got that message, and he sent in 5 requests, actually. I think 5 to choose from, I think, is what he was thinking. We're going to do a few of those. Let's do a couple right now. Actually, Brian wanted to hear 2 songs that I did not write. My friends wrote these songs. I'm going to do one by the great Michael O'Connor and one by the great Karen Poston here. This one Karen Poston wrote. She was leaning long-legged beneath the bottle cap sign of the country store with a Coke and a smile. Coolest place to linger on an Arkansas day when she saw him passing by. He said, I'll take you back to Texas and my name is Ray, where the stars are bigger than the hit parade. And she stopped dreaming her dream, started dreaming his, traded in her childhood. She wore flower dresses for him, rolled her hair and scrubbed her freckled skin, on the chance that they were going out tonight, catch a show, maybe grab a bite. And she looked real nice, she looked real nice. Sometimes I think about my daddy and his Old Spice grin, a clean pressed shirt and a farmer's tan. She never asked him questions and he never told her lies, but I heard my mama cry some. And I was sitting in the hallway on the night he left, hugging my knees, holding my breath. I was never sure why, but he was damn sure gone. Thought it was maybe my fault. She wore flower dresses for him, rolled her hair and scrubbed her freckled skin, on the chance that they were going out tonight, catch a show, maybe grab a bite. And she looked real nice, she looked real nice. The evening is just starting to chill a bit. The fireflies over the field, and it brings to mind the glider where she used to sit, count the headlights on the highway. And I think of where you're going, where you are tonight, what you must have seen since I last saw those eyes. I know I can't win if I do not play, but this whole thing scares me. She wore flower dresses for him, rolled her hair and scrubbed her freckled skin, on the chance that they were going out tonight, catch a show, maybe grab a bite. And she looked real nice, she looked real nice. Ah, she looked real nice, she looked real nice. Our good buddy Michael O'Connor, in 2000, we headed out on the Broke Down World Tour. I hired Michael O'Connor to do the first leg. It was the first gig we were ever going to play together. And he was supposed to meet us at our house in East Austin. And he called and said he needed a ride. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "I'm broke down on the side of the road." On the way to the first leg of the Broke Down World Tour, Michael O'Connor broke down. Daddy's been drinking, and Mama's been driving herself home alone more and more. Baby tugging at her breast, that little devil won't take no rest. The goddamn neighbors all keeping score. It's Mama's birthday, oh, but the bills aren't paid. We'll sit alone in the dark, make a pallet by the screen door, dear. Try and get some cool air in here, listening to the highway rolling fast. And I dream of a getaway car, one with no brakes or plates, dark and swift without a trace. And I drive it oh so far away, straight out into the night. I'm gonna bury it all in the glow of my tail lights. The hound pumps at the edge of town, the horse call his name when he comes around. 3 sheets to the wind like a millionaire, crawls home on his hands and knees, 3 hungry mouths to feed, their bellies as empty as the frigid air. And I dream of a getaway car, one with no brakes or plates, dark and swift without a trace. And I drive it oh so far away, straight out into the night. I'm gonna bury it all in the glow of my tail lights. Let's do the chorus. And I dream Michael O'Connor song there.